Forbes India presents The New at Work, presented by Google WorkSpace.
Hello and welcome to Forbes India and Google WorkSpace present The New at Work. Today, we take a deep dive into the digital disruptions taking place in the retail sector and get an inside look at how firms are adapting to the new phygital reality. I'm your host, Gautam Srinivasan, and joining me are a panel of leaders who will showcase from their organization's perspective the new age workplace solutions being used to deal with customer service complexity in a phygital world, how operational efficiencies can be scaled with innovations, and the measures that are needed to create a resilient workforce. A lineup of speakers include Sandip Chhettri, CEO of TradeIndia.com Infocom Network Limited, Sunil, Raina, President and Business Head at Lava International Limited, Anurag, Garg, Vice President and Chief Information Officer at Welspun Enterprises Limited, Rahul, Mergu, who's the Vice President for Information Technology at Markets and Markets, and of course, Sumedha Chakraborty, who's the Country Head of India and SAARC Business at Google Workspace, Google Cloud. Thank you everyone for joining us on this talk and looking forward to more revealing examples coming in from the retail sector about this disruption that is taking place in the workforce. Sandip, let's start with you for the broad perspective. What are the factors contributing to the transition to hybrid work scenarios in retail?
So Gautam, primarily the first and foremost is the flexible and the smart and adaptability workspace within the corporate space which people are looking at. Okay, that's one. Second is the pool of talent we are getting currently from the local market. Okay, which has helped us to go forward to the transition towards a hybrid model. Okay. So far as ours is concerned, we work with SMEs very closely. Okay, and SMEs are across all the smaller cities in India. Okay, and because of this hybrid model, helped us to not only give them a personalized service to the customers, but also helping employees working from those smaller cities. Okay, because of this hybrid model. Okay, and the most important aspect which we have seen in this hybrid model is the kind of network experience the employees are happening within the peers. Today, when we have branches across smaller cities, they work in silos. Okay, but because of this and on a lot of collaboration tools which we are using today digitally, okay, and the digital transformation which has happened, this has helped us. The learning experience has become, I always talk about cross-border or borderless. So sitting at a smaller cities, what is happening in, customer in Mumbai, or what is happening, what kind of sales which is happening in my Mumbai branch, who are the performers there, what they are doing. That collaboration learning experience has also helped to improve the productivity of the employees. Okay, and finally, of course, and that also helped into that network experience which the employees are getting. So that's.
And are you learning from your customers as well? And are you learning from your customers as well, Sandeep? Because your vision is to enable 63 million SMEs to go digital. So something that you learn from your customers as well?
A lot, a lot. Pandemic is just a blessing in disguise for us. When I say blessing, previously we used to have to push our customers to adapt technology. Okay, now by default they are adopting technology. They are using video as a medium. Okay, so I was just going through recently, a McKinsey report which says that 70 to 80% of the customers today, they don't want physical meeting. Okay, they want digital meeting because they are adopting Google Meet. They are adopting Zoom or different mediums to connect with each other, and that has helped us. That has helped us because the knowledge sharing becomes easy. To build the customer experience has become easy. Okay, and the attention is very much. When you are in video meeting, the attention is so much that you can serve the customer better, understand the customer's requirement better. Okay, and there has been a great learning from the customers as well. Okay, because the kind of adaptability they have shown in last couple of years. Yeah.
All right. Adaptability is the lesson being learned. Let's get in a conglomerate perspective in this conversation. And for that, I'll bring you in, Anurag. The need for modern digital infrastructure to offer a blending of physical and digital retail smoothly, that is paramount. So I want to ask from you, what sort of capabilities will this enable, considering Welspun is in so many businesses from a retail perspective? What are the capabilities that excite you, that excite the conglomerate?
So basically, we are focusing on the omni-channel experience to the customers. Okay,
Mhm.
precisely, and then like customer don't need to travel, to the physical store only, right? And there are multiple options available to them, right? And they can see the product, they can feel the product, and then they can make a proper choice. And sometimes as we have experienced that, they have gone through the products, online, but they also visit to the physically to the store. And because of the proper integration and all those things, we are able to match the customer experience. Like, we should not start from the scratch that who are you or what are you looking for. So that is how we are leveraging the lot of integration techniques between all our allied system and the omni channel, perfectly working with a common database. And we know that exactly from where the customer left one channel, and then we can continue on the another channel. So
All right.
that is how we are experiencing and giving to the blend of technology to the customer.
And how much has employee experience changed? Because as you said, the goal is to match what the enterprise is offering with customer expectations or experience. In that context, Anurag, how has employee experience kind of grown in the
So
workplace for
employee,
you?
so basically, employee don't need to be, at a particular place. Okay, employee is
Mhm.
mobile. Okay, there is no boundaries. Okay, they are enabled using, a lot of infrastructure, latest network, 4G now 5G is coming on. So they can connect anytime, anywhere as per need, and there is no, they can save a lot of time and improving efficiencies in day-to-day operations, avoid traveling mostly in the bigger cities, and
All right.
even to the remote places as well.
Well, one of the other conversations I had, one interesting perspective which came out from one of the leaders in the organization was that due to the disruption which is taking place in the workplace, every employee is, in a sense, a product manager. We'll extend that conversation from an enabler's perspective. And Sumedha, I'll bring you in for that and try to understand from you how can the latest technology at digital workplace deliver exceptional customer experiences, accelerate product development, and digitize store operations in the retail sector.
Firstly, thank you all the panelists. It's a pleasure to hear and listen from you today. I think some very great and telling opening comments from both Sandeep and Anurag. From a digitization of retail, that's the one that I'll pick first because there is so much to talk about in that aspect. And some of the use cases were called out, like training, connecting, collaboration on a regular basis, how easy it is to connect across the entire country, whether it be tier one, two, three cities as well. I think Google Workspace has focused on the frontline world of users very efficiently. We strive to make the experience of the frontline workers very equitable to even the senior most leaders sitting in an organization from an end point experience point of view, whether it be the rich collaboration on video conferencing or collaboration on our editors like docs sheet slides or on sharing of documents on drive. We have made sure that the frontline skew where the population is larger and sometimes tend to get ignored in terms of uplifting them in the tech stack. At Google, we make sure from our product strategy and vision point of view that that segment of an organization is not really being at the lesser receiving end from a tech capability point of view. So whether it be our noise cancellation features that have come in powered by AI on Meet, or our Google Translate capabilities that are now natively embedded in Meet, which will light up scenarios like the one that Anurag was talking about. People from different parts of the country who may not even be speaking the same language can still very easily learn from each other and it will be powered by Google's AI, and the efficiencies and the accuracies we bring in through our AI models, which have been running across many consumer facing apps for many years now. So that's the power of AI that we are bringing into every frontline offering that we have, and that it's in itself is revolutionary. I could go on and on and on about talking around features, but overall I think the vision that I want to leave the audience here with is, we definitely believe in equitable collaboration, not just collaboration. And data says that the experience when COVID hit, the experience of going hybrid or completely remote was very different among the top echelons of an organization, that is, leaders of an organization, versus the lower end population in an organization, simply because the tech capabilities that were offered to them through the tools were not equitable. So that is a very strong feedback that we took, and we have made our frontline SKUs equitable with even the premier SKUs in terms of experience. There are other functionalities that come in from a security or storage point of view that are kept aside for the premium users. However, from an experience point of view, and everything that is needed to get work done efficiently is there available even for the frontline SKU for any employee that you want to onboard on. I think that's where I want to leave this particular conversation on, but we'll look forward to chiming in later as I hear from the other two panelists as well.
Absolutely. And we'll be getting in more use cases to be provided for you to comment on. But it's great to see how Google Workspace is also promoting equitable collaboration via its tools. And of course, as you mentioned, we've just scratched the surface when it comes to unlocking the possibilities that AI offers for the workspace of any sector. And of course, retail being one of those sectors which rapidly transformed during the pandemic. It's all the more important to have the right kind of solutions to drive the right kind of collaborations. On that note, since we spoke on the pandemic, I also want to understand the workplace scenario in terms of sustainable and resilient measures. So, Rahul, let me bring you into the conversation. What sort of measures have you put in place to create a sustainable and resilient workforce?
For workforce kind of things, like definitely for the training to employees, training for our team, support team, which was very much important during this entire game changer, almost for last 2 years. Definitely for those aspect, like training in certain, like for example, IT team training to support the remote connectivity, remote users. That's again the different challenges. And again, for the training to self-user, like during this pandemic, self-user has been taught a lot of things, like as Sandip said, adaptability is very much important during this entire journey of digital capabilities, because if you not adapt the next digital, then you are over for this race. So definitely that's the very big part over here. And similarly, that is the core things which we developed in our organization, where either our employees, our users, or as well as the team has been trained a lot of the new things before start the work from home. Similarly, nowadays things are changing for hybrid model, and again the similar continuity is going to be happen in another
Absolutely, and it is
years,
important to
time.
train.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
And the training aspect, of course, is important when we look at it from the resilience perspective, because once you're properly trained, you understand the scenarios and you understand the applications. And of course, the adaptability aspects also come in. Sumedha, any comment from you on that from what we have heard?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we keep hearing a lot from customers, and hence would love to share this data point that India has one of the highest penetration of Android users. So for the frontline and tier 2, tier 3 city employees, even if they have not used any other tool, they will be having most probably an Android phone with them. And therefore, the seamlessness of getting into any of the Google apps from the Android phone becomes much easier. So training, adaptability, adoption of technology, using workspace becomes much faster simply because of the Android penetration in India. So that's one difference that I see a lot in India. The second is the Google Meet platform actually runs on the lowest bandwidth compared to any other video conferencing platform out there. So that's another feedback that we have heard from our customers, that everything else, if put equal, just the quality of conferencing, even at a low bandwidth region in tier 2 or tier 3 cities, is much more enhanced. And I think as we continue to move towards 5G, these experiences will become even better. So I'm very hopeful of the future. Just wanted to call that out, because that's a place where we are still transforming.
Well, it's always good to be hopeful for the future. And of course, with the revolution that is about to come in with 5G, opening up a variety of use cases, especially for the retail sector, it will be interesting to see what Lava International thinks about, the new changing workplace and how it's improving itself to capitalize on this opportunity. Sunil, on that note, I'll bring you in. How are you going about streamlining complex day-to-day tasks across your digital and physical stores? And can you quantify what percentage improvement did your organization, say, witness in terms of improved employee experience as a result of investments in workforce transformation?
See, I think I'll break it into three parts, because eventually when you are able to streamline certain processes in the front end, then the back end, of course, the employees, of course, find it easier to do their day-to-day tasks. So what we've done is, first of all, what we have observed is the last 2 years that the pandemic was there, it actually shifted the digitization by about a decade. I think we have advanced that by about 7 to 8 years. What would have happened 10 years later is already started to happen in terms of the consumer behavior, in terms of the changes that are taking place in the retailing, the omnichannel experience. I think all of that has got accelerated at a very, very rapid pace in the last couple of years. One of the things that we have done is that, because we have about 120,000 retail outlets who we serve on an ongoing basis. That's where our products get sold from. One of the challenges has been that how do you make sure that all our people who are on the ground, they have easy access to the information of the sales, the service on their fingertips while they're on the field. Because it's a very large set of retail stores that you're supposed to really monitor on a daily basis. So for that, what we did is we completely digitized this whole retailing part by having a platform which today allows any person, whether it's back-end person or a front-end person, to access any of the sales and service information at any retail point that we have across the country. So that's one big change that is taking place. It also got necessitated because when pandemic was there, people would not be allowed to go to the retail stores. At the same time, there used to be customers who would want to buy products from the stores, but unless you're not able to visit them, so you had to have some remote monitoring mechanism for that. So that's something that we built over the last 2-3 years, and it's working beautifully for us. That's on the retailing side. And on the consumer side, I think there has been a major behavioral shift in the last 2 to 3 years. And one of the key shifts is everything at home. So people don't want to step out for anything. And that led to two key changes in our whole business modeling when it comes to serving the customers. One is on the sales side, and the other is on the customer service side. On the sales side, we realized that while there is online on one side and there is offline on another side, they have their own advantages and disadvantages for the consumers when they want to make a purchase. Say, for example, online does not give you it does not provide you instant gratification. It does not provide you look and feel experience. And on the other hand, the offline stores, they don't provide the convenience. You have to actually step out, which most of the young people don't want to do today. You want to book a cab, you want to get food, you want to get everything. It just happens on that application. So we understood this piece, and we said, how can we really merge the two and give the best of both worlds to the consumer? So we came up with this new concept called, since you asked about use cases, that's why I'm giving very specific examples of how we have used technology to really make some significant shifts in the way we work. So therefore, we came up with this concept called demo at home, which means the consumer does not have to step out. So he typically goes out for look and feel of the product. So we said, okay, we will come to your home, give you a demo of the device that you liked, and if you liked it, you can buy it then and there itself. So it involved a lot of automation at the back end to be able to those kind of link all the nodes and give that best experience to the consumer. As far as the new normal is concerned, in terms of serving them giving them the best sales experience.
But do you have the volume to cater to that, Sunil? I mean, it's a very interesting way of kind of merging both worlds. But considering the size of the market that you are catering to, are you starting small on this, and then as things firm up, then expanded this demo at home feature that you were talking about?
Yes. So we've initially started at the top 10 cities. And now we have plans to, because we have a very large distribution infrastructure. We have people on the ground. We have about 1,000 distributors across the country. And we have about 120,000 retail outlets who we serve on an ongoing basis. So we're using that infrastructure to make sure that we are able to provide the seamless experience to consumers at home. And the other part is also, again, after sales service. So again, one of the things that because we are trying to target the younger audiences. Like I said, they don't want to step out of their home for anything. So therefore, we also came up with this new concept called service at home, which has not happened in the mobile industry so far. It happens in the electronics industry, but in the mobile industry, it's not happened yet. So, which means in case there's something goes wrong with your device, you don't have to go to a service. The person will come to your place, he'll fix it there. If it is fixable at home, otherwise he'll pick it up and give it back to you after it has been serviced well. So all these things have involved a lot of automation at the back end, at the front end, for them to be delivered seamlessly to the consumers. And on the employee front that you asked, I think had the pandemic not taken place, we would still be signing some invoices at office, which is something that had to be completely done away with during this time, because you can't do that physically. However, one thing that we have done, which we felt that it's very important to give a very seamless experience to the employees in any digital asset or any digital interface that they use. So we came up with this term along with our IT folks that we have to make sure that anything in every digital asset that we have, any interface that we have, it must follow one simple principle, which is 1 second to find and 2 clicks to complete. So, we were surprised to see how, at times we were doing about 400 clicks to get one task done, and that how the same 400 clicks could be brought down to just 2 clicks. So I think we had to do a lot of innovative thinking and making sure that how do we optimize the time? How do we save the time of people even when they're on the digital platforms? So these are some of the use cases that we have worked on. So I give specific examples so that the point is,
and it's fantastic. It's the context with which you are thinking, Sunil, with where all these innovations are coming about, and at the end of the day, it addresses particular customer pain points, whether it's after sales service that they don't need to step out, or it's the acquisition itself, where you provide a demo of units for them to get that experience without stepping out of the home. And as I mentioned earlier, we're just scratching the surface, scratching the potential of what's possible when technology and context come together. Sandip, any examples to share from your side, taking forward what Sunil mentioned?
Yeah, I really like what Sunil said. These days, people everything they want at home. Okay, so specifically during this pandemic, people not traveling, and if you see the trade show itself is a big industry. How buyer and seller used to connect previously was through offline trade shows, which is happening across the globe. Okay, so we realized that can we give the same experience? Can we innovate something there? So we came with the concept called virtual trade shows online. Virtual trade shows, we give the same experience. We had those booths in place. It was category focused. We started with COVID essential trade shows virtually. We started with packaging machinery, so on and so forth. And it was a huge success where we brought in both exhibitors and the buyers together at one place. And we got a huge footfall on those virtual trade shows, because people were staying from home. They were able to connect with those exhibitors and they were doing business. Okay. So I just wanted to share that experience, primarily the kind of innovations we build in, any small steps which you take to connect buyer and seller, that gets a good success. And because again, coming back to the digital transformation which is happening today, so we got around 3 lakh, 5 lakh visitors in two days time. So it's a huge number. Whereas this kind of footfall might not happen in a physical trade show. Okay, so any technology change do today, we are looking at bringing customer, buyer and seller together. Okay, you see a success. Okay, you see a success because the things have changed and the adaptability has again has improved.
Absolutely. And it's about bringing, say, the ecosystem together to deliver the value, whether it's virtual trade shows and of course the mobile phone ecosystem, which has shown such promise in terms of innovation. Sumedha, let me bring you in at this point on the possibilities which open up when the workplace itself is in a sense democratized. What's your sense of, what does a successful digital workspace look like now for the retailers, considering you've heard the examples shared by Sunil and Sandip?
Yeah, I was wanting to add a few thoughts there. Lovely use cases shared by both the panelists. I think this is a need of the hour. There is a lot of innovation happening, not just in the tech companies, but in our customers as well. And we heard some very strong, solid, innovative use cases. So the way we are thinking about it is, we will not restrict or constrain our product to be disjointed from the innovations that our customers are doing, and hence the idea of opening up APIs. Today, in the last few months, we have opened up APIs to most of our products on the Google Workspace platform to integrate with any of these customer applications that Sunil mentioned or Sandip mentioned, and many other customers are building to connect their end customers to their employees and making things more efficient. So that's one piece I wanted to call out. And one example is like today, you can embed a Google Meet link in any of your apps and make it easy for your customers to connect with your employees in, say, for example, the app that you mentioned or the platform that you mentioned, Sandeep. So that is what we are making possible, and vice versa as well, integrating the APIs of your app into our platform. So that's one piece around the API economy and us continuing to open up our products as well as integrate other products into our platform. The second part around democratizing, again, just by listening to the use cases makes me realize that there is so much innovation lying in every part of an organization, and it doesn't always have to be with the IT team or the app development team where apps need to come from. And that's where we at Google firmly believe that our no-code platform AppSheet would come handy for customers like, say, Sandeep, Sunil, who mentioned about many use cases, which may be very incremental, small ones to start off with, but can gain momentum. And AppSheet, being a no-code platform, literally gives the power of app development with anybody. So it democratizes app development and makes every developer a citizen developer. So that's something we are seeing a huge uptick on, whether it be for the frontline workforce, for a financial services company or a retail company. And some of the largest retail companies that we are helping with are Titan, who again are blending between the phygital model, then DMart. Again, they have literally cracked the model of going from physical to digital to hybrid, and some of the innovation that they are bringing in, we are supporting them. So a lot of examples out there. And again, as we keep on unlocking innovation in every part of the organization, we will see more of that happening.
Absolutely. And it's in a sense co-creating value, which is a powerful driver of engagement as well. And when we look at it from an employee experience perspective, opens up new opportunities. You mentioned Titan in some of my earlier conversations with them. They've spoken about how the proper use of technology in this digital world has enabled them to offer bespoke experiences to any and every customer, because the insight for them was that small ticket customer of today becomes the large ticket customer for them tomorrow in say about 3 or 4 years. So they always want that consistent bespoke experience to stick with them. Let's keep on the use case bandwagon rolling. Rahul, let me bring you into the conversation to share the use cases from your perspective in terms of innovations. What new age, say, workplace solutions are you deploying? And let's also keep that in the context of increasing customer service complexity. So if you can share your viewpoint.
Sure, Gautam. So I just add one point over here with along with Sunil and Sandip, where this digital collaboration has been happened during the pandemic, post-pandemic, and all. So where it's very live example for us. Like we have also the additional portfolio for us. We do a conferencing over the globe. And before pandemic, we never did we never did the virtual conferences. So we had an option called the physical conferences itself. All entire globe we are doing it. So all of a sudden everything goes wrong, everything goes stopped, everything. So we started working out the solution for it. There are a lot of many applications where solutions was available in the market, but that was not suited to our environment because our strategy was different for doing the conferencing and all. So it took almost 2 months to create a solution for it, along with the digital collaboration for audio video collaboration with various vendors, with all the presentation, with all the BEI kind of thing, analytics and everything. So post that we did a survey there where we found when we live for the first session of it, the virtual session, where we started from India itself, but it was a huge response for that in the first session itself. So this digital transformation was very important, and we are running hybrid models. So somewhere we are doing physical, somewhere we are doing the virtual as well, which gives the more virtual result compared to physical results. So this is the use case what we observed, and it was very positive for us.
All right. Anurag, let me bring you in to share your perspective on this, because the omni-channel everything theme of recent years that has shifted to the logical next level, enabling the best hybrid experiences. So what is the importance of integration and interoperability in this new hybrid world, and how has it enabled your retail operation to operate at peak performance levels? If you can share a few examples from your side.
Yeah. So basically, like data, data is available, right? So data is not a problem at this point of time, right? But to get the right information, in a microsecond, right, is very, very critical. So as I said, we have a common data lake to be created, and we need to ensure that the right information is available to consume, right? And the technology plays a very critical role, right, to fetch the right information, process it, and display it to the user to consume it, right? So our perspective is how do we consume the information, not to publish the information. So that is how we are experiencing nowadays, and leveraging the technologies for our day-to-day operations and to improve the responsiveness to the consumers and the end users.
All right, Sandip, let me get you to comment on that. The point on tech on customer experience, and also when we spoke of bringing various players in the ecosystem together, what technologies are you investing in to connect multiple partners on a single platform for, say, close coordination and delivery, and what have been the challenges so far?
See, Gautam, with the adoption, there is some vulnerability also. When I say vulnerability, primarily, customer these days have a lot of medium to connect with you. Somebody will connect you through WhatsApp, somebody will connect you through SMS, somebody will connect you through email, somebody will connect you through your website, on call. So the touch points has increased. If you see, maybe 5 years back, the touch points was only one, they will call you, right? Okay. But now, because customer is using so many aspects, it becomes very important that all these channels from where you're getting customer feedback for a better customer experience should be at one place, so that your CRM can serve that customer on the right time. Okay. So that is where we are investing a technology, we are investing money there, that, hey, can we build a technology no matter where the customer is coming from? All the feedback is at one place, and customer can, our CRM can, solve that customer problem on time, looking at all the kind of, conversations is happening, or from the, or somebody from our different departments are happening with that customer. Okay. So we are building a tool within our CRM, it's in-house tool we are building, so that we can solve the customer's problem on time. That's one experience. Okay. That's from the seller perspective or customer's perspective. Second is from the buyer's perspective. What we're trying to do is, so I'll give example of, we have some customers, we have some sellers from Japan. Okay. So somebody wants to buy from Japan. It's very, very difficult to connect with them, right? So what we do is we do a conference call. Of course, whether we are using Google Meet for that. Okay. So our team uses Google Meet for that. And thanks to Google Meet, it was like it's a solver during the pandemic, like I correctly said, in 2G, you open in any network, it's opening perfectly. Okay. And so our team tried to, connect this importer from the Japanese, manufacturer using technology here. And this doesn't have to travel. Okay. And they're doing a conference call and they're connecting and doing business. So these are some of the, ways we are helping to improve the customer experience. And thanks to Google Meet, I just wanted to add these 2 points on the customer experience.
Fantastic.
We are using
Great to hear.
Yeah.
Great to hear. And of course, a ringing endorsement coming in for Google Meet for helping solve problems for customers. Sunil, let me bring you in on that in terms of taking this conversation forward and an expansion of your thoughts on, the omni-channel approach, helping retailers stay ahead of the curve for both customers and employees. You shared with us some examples. And when we think of the next billion users, what's going to happen right now and what excites you the most?
Yeah, I think the point that I wanted to make was, as leaders, one of the things that we have to get right is the philosophy or maybe the vision for the organization. Because if you look at the solutions which are available out there in the market, there are so many of them and it's so confusing for you to really decide which solution is the right solution for you. And most of them are similar and most of them are designed for a certain set of audience and maybe you just have to adapt to that. I think one of the things that we have kept at the core of this whole philosophy of digitization or automation is that, for example, we say there should be no training required for any solution that we implement. If people have to be trained on using a platform or using the application, to my mind, that is not good enough. That's something that we should not do at all. We should bring it to a stage where once it's handed over to the user, the user knows exactly how to use that particular application. There should be no training intervention required. That's one part of it. Other part is, like I said, we coined this term philosophically, which says 1 second to find and 2 clicks to complete, which means the amount of time that you spend on doing your tasks should be so small, because that's where the technology has to play the biggest role. If to do the same task, I have to really take a long time. It's just that I am on the platform, I'm using technology and I'm feeling happy about using technology and being on a platform. But if that platform is not giving you seamless experience, I think that is worse than doing it manually, so to say. Because manually,
and Sunil, what about external? Sorry to interrupt you there. Just to add in, what about external factors, right? For example, if we saw the evolution of the payments ecosystem, bringing in, say, buy online, pick up in store, or buy now, pay laters, those came in all of a sudden. Let's say you have a certain plan of how you want to, say, monetize make monetization easier for the customer, and suddenly these external factors come in, which change the entire workflow, which change the entire workspace. How do you deal with that? How do you adapt to that and build resilience?
So I think, one of the things that you have to look at is what are they trying to solve, right? And if it matches what you have to solve for yourself based on the vision that you have built for your organization, because we at leadership positions have to really be the ones who really clarify the vision and the direction for the entire organization, whether it's on automation or anything else. And if there's something which is happening outside your company as something that is very useful to you, you have to really either adapt to it, or you have to build a solution which is maybe similar or maybe better versus what is available outside. See, one of the things, for example, on the consumer side, One of the things which is changing over time is the credit or the EMIs for buying electronic devices, because the mobile phone is getting more and more expensive. The ASPs are going up, so people want to buy them on. They want to buy the right product and buy it on an EMI. Now there are multiple solutions available in the market. There are multiple companies, so many fintech companies who have come in and they are giving EMI solutions to customers. But there's a segment of customers where which they are not addressing because of certain financial considerations that they have. Now, what we are internally thinking is, what would that solution be, which could be built in a phone, with the application that could be built in the phone, the whole platform that can be built, wherein we even enable those people who today do not have access to credit, who do not have access to the EMI solution that the other financial companies are giving. Because we have the control on the phone. We can design our phones, we can control the software, and we can also control, in case somebody is not paying on time, so you can also control whether the device should work, it should not work. And there are so many things that one can do. But like, I'll bring it back to the same thing. What is it that you're trying to solve? Who are you trying to solve it for? Should define everything that you do on this digital journey. So that's the point.
So we will see Lava not as a phone company but as a solutions company solving customer pain points. Sandip, you have a point to add here from your use case, from your standpoint?
Yeah, so Gautam, specifically during pandemic, because we talked about credit, and we talked about lending and all. So during pandemic, we realized that we did a survey with our SMBs specifically, and 73% of the SMBs, they say that they want credit facility. Okay, so primarily as Trade India, we offer two things, access to market and access to technology. Then we added third is access to finance. Okay. So when it's access to finance, we quickly went back and, our technology team, we built a platform. We partnered with 10 plus, NBFCs and banks today, and started giving access to finance to these SMEs, in terms of the support they want, the working capital, they want to grow their business. Okay. Second, like, the panelists said that, the EMI facility to buy mobile, right? Our business works on subscription. Okay. And we say that, hey, you want to go digital? Buy our subscription on EMI, and we have seen exponential growth there as well. So I just wanted to add that you give any facility or technology to SMBs, they are there to adopt it, and that helps to grow your business. Yeah,
absolutely. It makes it easier for them. They'll be willing to embrace whatever solution that you are offering. Anurag, anything from your perspective to add here, especially in terms of, say, Welspun's ability to adapt to change? Because change, of course, is the new normal, and we saw accelerated change during the pandemic. So, for example, say, how are you ensuring your contact center has the resiliency to withstand and quickly adapt to any emergency in the new normal? Maybe from that perspective, you could answer.
So one use case I would like to mention here. Now we are using a lot of geotagging thing, right? So if let's say any complaint is there, right, or any issue is there, now we can use a geotagging facility in our apps, and we can capture the lot of information in terms of which location, whether it is there or not, real time pictures. Right, it is helping us a lot to improve the processes and take a quick decision making.
All right, lots of possibilities being discussed, and of course, lots of optimism coming in. And as they say, hope is eternal. So as we look to wrap up this conversation, let's look at the way forward. And Sumedha, I'll bring you in to share with us the last word from you on this. What's going to be next in digital workspace adoption?
I think, as most of the panelists mentioned, the pandemic has pushed us forward by 10 years in terms of adoption, and the technology platforms, whether it be Google or other players in the market, have done their part in actually maturing the technology towards helping and enabling that. Google itself has rolled out about 300 plus features in the workspace platform in the last 1 year, or rather 12 less than 12 months, and that's the pace of innovation that we are continuing to drive and plan to drive. We will continue to focus on more richer experiences, making the human connections more meaningful, whether it be in a hybrid mode or in a completely pure online mode. and we have such features built into our platform which makes collaboration equally comfortable, even if there are a group of people sitting in a conference room versus in an online setting. We will continue to make it equitable so that not half of the world is left behind because of price reasons in terms of adopting digital, because time is crucial for everybody and it has become more crucial post pandemic. And the third thing is we will continue to drive being helpful to our end users, and everything that we have been rolling into our platform through AI. So AI is our key tool, I would say, and where we have a significant leeway compared to other competitors. We will continue to build that into our platform significantly just to be more helpful. And that would mean nudges around what you should be sending, maybe a document that you're working on, and you suddenly meet the same group of people who have shared the document with you. You are on a meeting with them, it'll pop up automatically, do you want to share this document and with the group of people on the call. So this is something that is making the platform more helpful for the end user, and every second or every minute that is saved by, without needing to search for a document or without needing to really think through what all where have I kept all my information. The AI that we are building in will try to nudge the end user to do this much more seamlessly. And that's where our vision is, to keep it simple, make it helpful for more users, keep it equitable, and continue to focus on the rich, immersive human experiences, whether it be in a hybrid or a pure online mode.
All right, on that note, it's time to wrap up our talk around what's driving digital workplace transformations in the retail sector as part of Forbes India and Google Workspace present the new at work. I'd like to thank all the panelists for sharing their insights on the topic. And of course, thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Till next time, this is your host, Gautam Srinivasan, signing off. Have a great day.
Forbes India presents the new at work, presented by Google Workspace.